So, hope you're well and super excited to have you join me in this video today. And in this specific video today, I'll be showing you exactly you that has a skill, a knowledge, or an expertise, or anything that you know more than the average person does. I'll show you exactly why and how you can actually unlock that six-figure online business that essentially is just waiting for you, right? You have the skill, you have the knowledge, that's you. Now you just need the right systems and the right strategies and the right knowledge to turn that into the six-figure online business, right? So in this free training, I'll be showing you exactly how you can do so, right? So which online business is that exactly, you may be asking yourself. I'm talking specifically about online digital products, right? Selling something that is completely online, so no fulfillment, no nothing. And even more specifically, educational courses and programs, right? Anything that is kind of in an educational manner, right? You're helping other people out through education is what I'm actually referring to. Why? Well, simply because having your very own online education program means that you enter the currently the best business model ever. Right? Currently, you can start pretty much any business model you want. A lot of them are harder. Right? Business is hard, but if you're entering this specific model, you're actually entering the easiest one out there. Why, you may ask? Well, there's a few reasons for that. First of all, low capital needed. It doesn't really cost much to get started compared to a lot of other businesses out there. It's very, very scalable. You can make a lot of money with it without actually having to spend too much. It's very fulfilling, right? So you're constantly helping people out in an educational matter. So it is very fulfilling. You do feel good running this business model. And again, with that, it provides time and location freedom, again, which a lot of business models don't actually. So this is a really, really good model. And this is why I'm showing you this specifically, right? So think about it. Trying to think of another business model that has the ability to do that for you, right? Think about every single business out there that you interact on a daily basis, businesses that your other friends have, and trying to find something that has the exact attributes as this one. It doesn't really exist, right? It's super, super hard. And that's why I'm showing you again this specific business model, because it is very the best one to get into. Now, before we start, um, let's clarify what skill I'm talking about, right? What I mean by actually skill. This is literally anything that you feel that you have, that you know more than the average person, right? Again, a big misconception is that you have to be really, really good, so an expert in your field. That is completely untrue, right? You just have to be better than the average person. If you work out, let's say 6 days a week, and you've been doing that for 2 3 years, then you do this more than the average person. Therefore, you know more, right? It's as simple as that. And I'll go over examples of what that could be like. This could be an interest, a passion, an experience in a specific career. So maybe you've spent a lot of years in a specific career and you're really good at it. And money making skills, so how you actually make money specifically for you, or any type of knowledge, right? It could be very, very niche and specific, and it could still work. Some great examples that we do see a lot is, let's say, filmmaking. You're really good at making films, and maybe that's your job. Woodworking as well. Any kind of business owner that makes money specifically online. A high position in a career field, let's say finance or whatever, or tech. We see a lot of tech as well. Fitness, just being very specifically fit, and more. Right? There's a lot of opportunities. And the thing is, with all of this, is for most people, these skills are of theirs is their norm, right? They're really, really used to it, so they don't think that their skill is particularly really impressive and that other people would actually benefit from it, right? Meaning they don't necessarily think others would be interested in getting their help, right? And but you have to realize that 66% of the world's population are online. So you having that specific thing that you are good at and better than the average person, you don't think there are people out there of that 66% of the complete world population that would benefit from what you know, your knowledge that you have and you've actually gained throughout the years or the months you've been working on it specifically, whatever that might be. You don't think there's really anybody online who'd be able to benefit from it and pay you for it. That's completely false, right? You have to change that mindset. So in this video specifically, what will be covered, what the journey looks like for you to actually do so. I'll explain everything, concrete examples on what that actually looks like and what you can do. The very first step for you to actually do and take action on. So it's going to be really an actionable step. And what to do to be actually able to skip all the guesswork of doing it, of trying to figure out everything by yourself and go straight to having your desired online business, right? So stick for the end for this one, and I'll show you exactly how you can do that. So before starting this specific video and getting into what I'm going to say, I think it's very important to identify who are you watching this video and how you can actually benefit from it, right? So are you someone who wants to launch their own course based off their expertise you've been thinking about for a while and you want to do it? Or you are an online creator who just isn't satisfied with their income currently, you want to level it up? Or you want to create something that really helps people out, right? You have really a desire to be able to create something and actually help people, right? So if this is you, stick around because this video is essentially perfect for you. You'll actually be able to implement what I say and take action on it, right? So let's get into what does a journey usually look like for someone who has a skill and expertise and turns it into one of those businesses, right? It kind of starts by said person learning throughout the years or months a specific skill like the ones I just talked about, right? Like the example I just showed you, they're going to learn a specific skill that most people don't actually have. And this journey specifically is often long and contains a lot of learning and mistakes for that people, right? They go through a lot of struggles. It takes a lot of time for them and so on and so forth, right? So now this learning journey might lead to, for some people, be able to turn that into something profitable and something to do full time, right? Obviously, it depends that specific niche and stuff like that, right? If it's a business niche, then it's obviously made to make money. If it's not, then sometimes it is a bit more difficult, but it can usually go to that. Or for some people, and for others, it's something they might simply do for the fun of it without expecting much in return, right? So this usually goes maybe into painting. A lot of people do a lot of painting; they're very good at it, but they usually won't make a full time career out of it, right? So there's two options you can do. Now let's see some examples because I did tell you I was going to show you some examples. Let's say you do start learning filmmaking, right? You do it through the years and you become very good at filmmaking specifically. Well, you can transition that to a full-time career as a freelance filmmaker. So you have your own clients, you have your own projects. You kind of learn the business side of things and how to get clients and stuff like that, right? So you kind of learn the business side of things. Or you're someone who does it in free time. Maybe on the weekends you go out there and you create a film and you just really become good at creating a film, right? You can actually transition to both. Another example is that let's say you start learning painting. Well, you can just transition that to a full time career as an artist. So you become one of the top artists, or mid kind of artists, and you make it a full time career. So you do earning money from painting. So again, you kind of learn the business side of things. Or you're someone who does it in their free time. What most people actually do is simply just do it in their free time, and they just become really good at it, right? Let's say you start an online business, a super great example as well. Well, that you can mostly just transition that to being a full time business owner, right? If you're getting into the online business space, then you're probably just going to be an online full time business owner, right? And the great thing about all of these is that you're able to transition from having that specific skill to helping others online, right? So whatever your skill you might have, and it doesn't matter if you made it as a full-time career or you're just doing it for fun, you're able to turn that specific thing that you have through helping others online, making more than what you're currently making, and not having to do it full-time or as much if you don't want to, right? That's one of the great benefits is you actually have to choose, or you get to choose what you want to do with it, right? And this is what shows you, well, essentially this shows you that in both cases you're able to help others with whichever position you are in, whether you do it as a full-time position or you just do it for fun. In both positions, you are able to help others because people seek different help and results. Maybe someone that doesn't want to learn filmmaking as a business side of things, they just want to learn how to become a great filmmaker, right? So it really depends. But it is to keep in mind that most money niches will always almost outperform the fun or passion or interest niches, right? If you're teaching other people how to make money online or make money through that specific thing, it's always going to perform a thing like painting just for fun, for the fun of it, right? Because essentially money is linked to emotions and people will buy emotions and money solves a lot of problems. So they'll be able to pay way more to have that specific solution. So in general, it will always outperform it. But again, it doesn't mean that it won't work. And if you're wondering what that actually looks like, right, the whole process of that journey kind of looks like represented visually, I'm going to show you right now. So essentially it kind of starts by someone learning like I mentioned, that specific skill throughout the years, throughout the months, and going through that journey, and actually just really having deep knowledge on it. And then usually it goes through that specific person with that skill, if that's you watching this video, that showcases such skill online. They start making content around it, talk about it to other people, and start getting attention, right? And that what that does essentially, they get attention organically, so without actually having to put money in paid advertisements or anything like that. And that essentially creates demand because people are interested in knowing more about the person, getting help for that specific person. So it creates demand for something, a product, an offer, help, right? And essentially, after that, usually people release their own online education offer, right? So that specific person with that skill will essentially just create something that helps that demand that was obtained organically, right? And at the end of the journey, after doing all this, which essentially I know is the journey is um, kind of sped up, but essentially people are able to take a step back from what they're doing currently, and even though they enjoy it, they can actually take a step back and actually do this full time while working way less than they did before. So they're able to turn that, specifically that skill that they used to do, they're really good at, and completely replace it. Or if they don't want to replace it, they don't have to. But essentially, they can just turn that into making way more, working way less, through helping others specifically online, right? So that's kind of how it looks like. And through that, they can make anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 per month. A bunch of people doing this in the space. It's not nothing out of the ordinary. So what's your first step knowing this, right? After knowing the whole process and what you have to do, what is your very first step to be able to do this? And this can depend on where you at on your journey. Like if, let's say you do have already people that follow you for a specific reason, or you're at the start, like it really can depend. But the number one step is to start producing content online around your skill. Even though you're already producing content right now, you can even just produce more and put out more out there, right? That's really the whole goal. And that's the number one step I have to give you, right? So it's you. You can post short form content on TikTok if that's more of your style. Instagram Reels is also really good to gain attraction quickly. A bit more on the longer play, but YouTube is also really great. Is able to nurture people, like just you watching this video specifically. So it is able to do that. Things to keep in mind though is that when you create content, it is make sure to make it valuable. Give out free information, so what you really know about your specific skill. Make sure to give out as much as you can. Obviously, don't give out everything. But essentially, what that is going to do is build authority for you, and also is that you can make sure to make somewhat high quality. So if you do make high quality on whichever platform, it's going to build trust and make you seem kind of more legit. And obviously be consistent and patient. These are obviously things that everybody knows when creating content online. But again, you can always speed up that process with paid ads. It's not something I'm specifically going to dive into, but I'm just saying it is a possibility, right? So why is it the first step? Well, because without attention and anybody knowing about your skill specifically, you will simply not get any interested buyers. It's simply just not going to happen. It's going to be too hard, and nobody's going to know about you, right? And this does not have to be something you're stuck to doing all the time, right? Creating content and making sure that you're currently producing content does not have to be something you're going to be doing all the time, right? There's methods to go away from that, because you are actually able to speed that up and speed up that process using paid ads, like mentioned. Again, I'm not going to dive into what that looks like, but you can do it. And these will usually be found on Instagram, those paid ads. But the thing to know is that with these is that you still have to have some content up for them to work. So regardless, the point of this slide is regardless, you still have to, create content. And now if you're doing this, and have gathered an audience, even if it's small, you're actually ahead of most people. Congratulations. Like you are a step a lot of people. And it's just a matter of doing a few tweaks and a few stuff like that to be able to get to the next level, right? So again, you are really on your way to having that desired online education business of yours. But now what it actually only comes down to is being able to not only keep but grow said audience, right? If you're posting content and you are getting people to your page, it's only a matter of keeping that audience engaged and following you and stuff like that, and also growing said audience. And after that, building and launching your very own online offer on the back of it. Once you start getting that attention, you start having a lot of people interested in your page. And again, you don't have to have that much followers to actually launch something and make it successful, right? And as well as that is making sure you're doing everything right to have success with it, right? These things are building and launching your offer and finding a lot of things about your audience and being able to pull that whole thing off. Does require some strategies and systems. So it's just making sure that you are doing everything right once you are wanting to get into that specific industry to have success with it, right? And if you're looking for that specifically, I actually made this video on YouTube that I highly invite you to check out. And essentially, it explains the exact process to continue with those next steps to make that transition. So, more of the actual building and creating your own offer, right? And essentially, this is the video. You can find it on my YouTube channel if you browse through my other videos. So, make sure to check out the video. Very good as well. But to recap this specific video, I wanted to show you this opportunity because it is a really huge opportunity for you to actually take action on, and not a lot of people are just looking at it and not doing anything about it. And I kind of want to change that for most people. And it's essentially, I wanted to show you this mainly for people who already have an audience and a skill. Because this is exactly who we work with at my own agency and the agency I run, and are able to get really good results for. These are the most people that we're actually going to be able to get results for. And what I mean good results, I'm saying that because we're able to partner up with you and build, launch, and scale your very own online program or course to 10 to 30 plus $1,000 per month. That's what we really do, and that's our offer. That's really what we do, right? And this is on a done for you systems and coaching, right? We kind of integrate both, and that's how we're able to bring you to those figures. So if that's any of interest of you of being able to take us up on that offer and getting more information on how we work, I highly recommend you to check the first link in bio. And essentially you'll see a video, which essentially is a qualified video to see if we can actually help out. And then through that, you can actually book a call. So if that's an interest of you and you want to talk to us and you want to get, again, to build, launch, and scale your very own online course or program to those kind of figures, then do that. And if you do have any other questions about the whole process or anything like that, I'll also put a link to my Instagram below, so you can kind of message me on that, and I can just kind of help you out and guide you through the whole process. So that was it for me, and I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.